Welcome to the all-new Browns All Access with head coach Hue Jackson. Nathan Zegura joined all season long by Browns legend Bernie Kosar. Bernie, it is great to be with you, and we're going to have a great show for you. We're going to have head coach Hue Jackson breaking down key plays on the coach's tape, as well as giving you the game preview. We're going to have player spotlights so you can get to know your Browns, and we'll even have the social minute as things are going crazy out there in the Twitterverse. Well, Bernie, it's finally here, though. The season starts, the Browns and the Steelers. What are you most excited about?
Well, I think finally is a perfect word right now. You've gone through OTAs, you've had mini camps, training camps, 4 preseason games. Especially from a player perspective, you want to get out there and play that first real game. Now you couple that with it being the Steelers, there's no question you want to start out on the right course with a W because of what's been transpired here. Not just the last couple years, really the last couple decades. And it's imperative, I think, that we come out and not only show our fans, but we show ourselves that we belong against our division rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I think it would be a great way to start the season. As we talked about new faces, Jarvis Landry wasn't here week 1 a year ago. Tyrod Taylor, Denzel Ward, Carlos Hyde, Josh Gordon, and another guy wasn't there week 1, Myles Garrett. He's been healthy all offseason, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do against Ben Roethlisberger. So let's get with head coach Hue Jackson now in the Papa John's play breakdown.
Takes the snap on first down, play action fake. He's going to get hit by Myles Garrett, and he's got him all the way back at the 44-yard line. And Garrett ends up without his orange helmet.
All right, Coach. Myles Garrett, healthy, headed into the season. I know you're excited. Let's take a look at some of the things he can do to disrupt the opponent's offense.
Absolutely. I think you said it. I think first is health. I think it's year 2 in his process of becoming a real big-time NFL player. Obviously, the guy has tremendous initial quickness. He has strength. He has length. He has the ability to finish. And I think all those things are important for a pass rusher in the National Football League. I think he's starting to come into his own. You know, it starts with his stance. As you can see, he has that butt up a little bit so he can really get off and get after it. But look at his first 2 steps right here. Look at the dirt come up in the grass right here. I mean, he's really digging to get there. And then that is a lot of force at that particular time that he has on that offensive tackle. And now it becomes strength. And as you can see, he kind of throws him with his left hand. Now he's back inside, and there's the finish to close to get to the quarterback. That's outstanding.
You got to like that.
That's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about. A great move there. And when you have a pass rusher like Myles Garrett, not only can he disrupt it, but he opens things up for other players
yes,
as well.
He does. I mean, obviously, you know, as an offensive team, you got to worry about him. So you might commit some more resources over there to make sure he gets blocked, you know, whether it's a running back, whether it's another lineman, which now frees up some other guys to have opportunities to make plays.
Yeah, we saw that in this game when Avery got the sack. Let's go to the Bills game now and look at the Myles Garrett effect here up the middle of the pocket.
Well, here he is again on the edge, and now this time he's in a 2-point stance, you know, which to me, if I'm an offensive tackle, that's even a little bit more scarier because I don't know where he's going to go. Is he going to go inside or outside? And as you can see here, just the push and bend and turn that he has the ability to make himself, he's 6'5". He has the ability to make himself 6'2" very quickly. Once he gets going, he drops his shoulder, he's around the edge, which now forces the quarterback to push up. So now that's where Larry Ogunjobi now is able to make his mark by getting pushed in the pocket, and when Myles flushes the quarterback to him, he's got to finish it, and he does.
And he did that. And something I noticed just now as we watched, the left guard is so worried about Myles Garrett, he's actually going to turn his head away from Ogunjobi, look at Garrett, the center goes the other way, and they almost forget about him because they're so worried about Garrett. Watch.
There's no
he's
doubt.
like, where is he?
That's what it is.
He stops blocking.
Because this guy knows, and that's what most teams will do, they got to help. So that gives other guys a chance to go make plays. And our guys got to make sure we're ready to make those plays when they present themselves.
And Larry Ogunjobi's guys coming into his own as well.
Absolutely. Another player with tremendous quickness, you know, different body type than Myles, but boy, does he get after it the same way. And I think it's important to have guys like that.
You know, that's fun film to watch, but it's preseason film. I can't wait, Coach, till we see regular season film.
Absolutely.
You can see why we're all excited to have Myles Garrett at full force. He can absolutely wreck an offense. Bernie, as a quarterback, what can Myles Garrett do to disrupt an entire offense?
Well, you put me on the spot there as a quarterback. As a quarterback, I'm getting the shakes, okay, from my blind side still to this day. There's no doubt and those clips really epitomize what we're talking about here.
Absolutely. It's a remade secondary, and that coverage and the pass rush go hand in hand. And when they have to slide everything miles away, that's when you see a guy like Jannard Avery come out on the backside, get that sack, strip, fumble, and we hope to see more of that against the Steelers. And you'll see more of Browns All Access with Hue Jackson right after this. Keep it right here, because coming up on Browns All Access, defensive back Denzel Rice earns his stripes.
I'm looking to contribute any way I can.
And wide receiver Jarvis Landry is hungry to face the Pittsburgh Steelers. Welcome back to Browns All Access with Hue Jackson, Nathan Zegura, alongside Browns legend Bernie Kosar. And the Browns got it down to 53 men who earned their stripes. One of those was Denzel Rice. Learn more about his story, brought to you by Fifth Third Bank.
You men in this room, you earned your stripes. That's something that the coaching staff and the personnel staff seen in you, that we said, you know what? These guys got an opportunity to put this stripe on their helmet and play for the Cleveland Browns.
It's an emotional roller coaster, you know, like some things are out of your control, and you have to accept that fact. Once you accept that fact, things are a lot smoother. You know, you just enjoy the ride, man. Just trust your ability, keep your mental stable, and you will go as far as you want to go. See, the thing is, you don't want the call. You don't want the call. You don't get a call, that means you live to fight another day. But if you get the call, that means more than likely you have to come in the office, talk to the coach, and he's going to give you the release paper. So I wasn't looking forward to the call. I couldn't go to sleep because, you know, just the unknown. It's just the unknown. You could be here, you could not. My mom want to come to the game. I don't know whether to tell her to come or not because I don't know if I'm going to be here or not. And there's just a lot of stuff going on. So I kind of just isolated myself. I went to the city, you know, just try to get my mind away, eat some good food, you know, listen to some good music, just to kind of get out of sight, out of mind. My biggest thing going into the preseason was just staying consistent because, you know, my reps are limited. I just wanted to, with the reps that I had, I wanted to take advantage and just be consistent in every play. Coach told me to get at the R4. I never played the R4, but, you know, he told me to get there, so obviously he trusted me to go there.
The Browns will punt this one, and it hangs high. Redding underneath it. He catches at the 10, and man, he is smothered by Denzel Rice, who has made two really good plays on special teams kick and punt.
I just got there and got down the field and made the tackle. And I just felt like I belonged there now. You know what I mean? So it's just like that. I just felt right. It just felt right. The defensive back group helped me a lot. Those are my boys, man. We help each other out because everybody's really been through something, you know, that I can relate to. And I've grabbed that from each individual and I've, you know, took it with me and made myself a better player with it.
No, I think I gotta be there for you.
Once you get the stripe, it's nothing new. The objective is the same every day, and that's to get better. So, I mean, the stripe is an accomplishment, but you have to add value to the team. I'm looking to contribute any way I can, whether it's at nickel, whether it's at corner, whether it's on special teams. I just want to help the team win. That's my main goal. I'm up to the task.
Congrats to Denzel Rice, defying the odds again as he did 2 years ago when he was the only undrafted free agent to make the Texans at that time. And for a guy like Denzel Rice, who's a versatile corner, he really had to get it done on special teams, stood out against the Lions. Obviously, that made an impact. How important is that for those guys on the bubble?
Yeah, no question about it. You know, I think for cut-down weekend / Labor Day weekend, it's not a festive occurrence for guys that are undrafted free agents. And I give Denzel so much credit. I mean, his fourth team basically in 3 years, undrafted free agent. I don't know if you ever, as an undrafted guy, really ever feel secure in your position. And I think that air of hungriness is something that comes across to the other players, and it's imperative, I think, on so many people focus on offense and defense, as you should. But special teams is 1/3 part of the game, and guys like Denzel, yeah, he's going to play cornerback, and he needs to earn some of his money playing defensive back. But it's imperative that he's a dominating leader on the special teams, because a good special teams play will lead to good W's.
Well, I talked to him in Detroit after that final preseason game, and he said, look, I laid it all out on the line. I hope it was good enough, and clearly it was. And you could have gotten that on the Browns Twitter channel. And speaking of social media, let's see the best of the week that was in the Browns Social Minute.
What's up, guys? I'm Allie Raymond, and this is your Social Minute, where we show you the best of what happened on social media this week. First, we're taking a look at Browns linebacker Joe Schobert. He tweeted out this week a little throwback from his college days, where he showed that at one point he led the NCAA in sacks, ahead of a couple big names. First, the future #1 overall pick Myles Garrett, the future second-round pick Emmanuel Ogbah, and Joe says, what happened? Well, last year he led the league in tackles, played every snap, and made his first Pro Bowl, so we think things are working out just fine for Joe. Up next, the NFL rolled out its first illustration of the year, where they featured all 32 teams around the Lombardi Trophy. I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but the Browns are pretty close to that Lombardi Trophy, and we're in some pretty good company too, with the Patriots, the Vikings, and the Eagles. If you want to go ahead and jump on that conspiracy train with me, there's plenty of room for you. And finally, the Browns released their Football from the Hardland of America video, which you can watch in its entirety at our Browns YouTube page, which is youtube.com/Browns. While you're at it, you might as well subscribe to all of the Browns social media platforms as well. I'm Allie Raymond, and this was your Social Minute.
Coming up on Browns All Access, go inside the mind of Browns wide receiver Jarvis Landry. And head coach Hue Jackson previews the home opener. Welcome back to Browns All Access with Hue Jackson, Nathan Zegura, alongside Browns legend Bernie Kosar. And Bernie, we talked earlier about John Dorsey remaking this roster, and he did it by adding a lot of veterans along with a lot of young players. But on the offensive side, you have a new quarterback who's a veteran and been a winner, a new running back in Carlos Hyde, and a new receiver in Jarvis Landry. Guys who have had success in the league. What does that mean to have them come into this offense?
It's contagious. You know, Jarvis' addition to our team, not only from the playmaking ability, but his experience in the locker room. I say it somewhat as a joke of being contagious, but it really is infectious. It is contagious. It's fun to watch the guys get excited about practice, get excited about being in meetings. It seems and sounds a little bit corny, but it really does work, and it really does sometimes make a difference between a win and a loss when you have guys that really don't want to leave any stone unturned.
And Jarvis was the best player on the field every day at training camp, making highlight catch after highlight catch. We saw his speech on Hard Knocks and everything he has brought to this team. We'll find out a little bit more about him yourself right now in our Player Spotlight.
Jarvis, it's been months in the making now. The season's finally here. What does it feel like now that the Steelers game is finally approaching here?
You know, it's exciting. You know, obviously to open up with a division game, you know, and for us, it's exciting too. Just all the hard work that we've been putting in throughout this whole entire offseason, OTAs, training camp, you know, and to see it all come to life and actually pay off, hopefully in the way that we wanted to.
You've really been a part of this kind of culture change that's gone on in Cleveland. What has maybe been your role in implementing that?
Just being myself. Since the day I got here, you know, Coach Hue mentioned that to me. He said, just be yourself. You know, when I came and, you know, that's literally what I did. You know, and just continue to be myself, and, you know, if guys need help with anything, and, you know, be a helping hand or whatever it is, support, and, you know, talk about some of the things that I've been through, and, you know, go that way, lead that way.
Have you seen some of the younger guys respond to you maybe more here than it was in the past when you were maybe more of a younger guy on your team?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the receiver room, you know, before Josh came back, I was kind of like the oldest guy in the room. So, you know, I got a lot of questions. I got a lot of, you know, what you do to help your body, you know, and before you know it, coming off the practice field, guys are following me around the weight room, and I'm like, wait, but it's also, it was good because it kept me, on the right track and everything, and those guys held me accountable, and we all did, and we got better.
Come on, man! Come on!
Problematic when I hit automatic, it's like go time, buys camera, showtime.
What do you know about this Steelers defense and just their kind of role as the top dog in the AFC North the last few years?
I know they play well together. They communicate very well. Their defensive line, their whole defense really is put together real nice. So we're excited about the matchups, but we know it's going to be a challenge for us.
Do you like that you're opening the season with them?
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Because having the opportunity to play in this division, like what way to start the division off playing against, like you said, the powerhouse of the AFC.
Bernie, Jarvis, as you mentioned earlier, it's contagious what he's brought here, the work ethic, but the performance is right there too. More catches than anybody in NFL history in his first 4 seasons. What's it like to have that guy? And you saw him out here. If you throw it near him, he's going to catch it as a quarterback.
Well, it's music to the old quarterback's ears, and any quarterback to have a consistent security blanket like Jarvis, it's imperative to the success of you as an individual, more important for the collectivity of the team, to have guys that can make plays at crunch time like that.
Well, the Browns last year, 27 interceptions thrown by their quarterbacks. Tyrod Taylor has only thrown 16 in the last 3 seasons combined. How big of a difference is that going to make this offense look on Sundays?
It probably gets nauseating for all of us to talk about, but you hear us talk so much about the turnovers, taking care of the football. It almost becomes like a broken record, but it's a good broken record, because when you turn the ball over, statistically, we know what the ramifications.
You lose.
You lose, and you generally lose badly. So to take care of it like Tyrod has is really something that the team's been missing the last couple of years.
Absolutely, and they'll get a great test in Week 1. The Steelers were the 5th-ranked defense in the NFL a year ago. Excited to see that, but also excited for you to see more of Browns All Access right after this. In the Browns home opener against the Pittsburgh Steelers last season, how many rushing yards did the Steelers have? Is the answer A, 35, B, 54, C, 76, or D, 113? Learn the correct answer when Browns All Access returns. In the Browns home opener versus the Pittsburgh Steelers last year, how many rushing yards did the Steelers have? The answer is A, 35. In 2017, the Browns finished with the 7th best run defense in the NFL, holding opponents to a 3.35 yards per carry rushing average. Welcome back to Browns All Access with Hue Jackson, Nathan Zegura, alongside Browns legendary quarterback Bernie Kosar. And Bernie, it is a passing league more than ever in the NFL, and the Steelers with Big Ben, Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster do it as well as anyone. This is a big test for a remade secondary.
I really tried to pride myself on being 50-50, run and pass. The Steelers, by and large, try to stay within that breakdown of it. I think it's one of the main reasons why our general manager, John Dorsey, went so heavy on the back end of our defense this year, working on those defensive backs for teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers with so many down-the-field weapons.
And none will have a bigger spotlight on him than the 4th overall pick, Denzel Ward, who draws a pretty tough matchup in the opener against Antonio Brown.
Welcome to the NFL.
Yes, indeed. It is a welcome to the NFL moment for Denzel and many young Browns players this Sunday. Now let's talk with head coach Hue Jackson about what to expect against the Steelers. All right, Coach, I know this offseason has been long for you. Mm-hmm. The regular season is finally here. How excited are you for not only this team, this city, these fans to get out and be able to kind of put some proof to all we've seen, the roster overhaul, the excitement around this football team?
Well, you just said it. The only proof that we can put to it is winning. Yep. At the end of the day, there's better players. Obviously, there's more talent. I think it's a very talented coaching staff. Again, I thank John Dorsey and the personnel group for helping put this thing together. But at the same time, the only thing that we can do as a football team is go win. We can look good and not win. That won't be good enough. And I think we all understand that. But at the same time, we're looking forward to this opportunity to go out and play against our division rival here at home in front of our fans.
And if you can make a statement to say, look, it truly is different, there really is no better team to do it against than the Steelers.
Absolutely. I mean, if we're going to take the next jump, which I think we're ready to do, we got to go out and beat Pittsburgh and whoever else at home. You know, whoever was going to be in our opening game, we need to show up and, as I tell the players, and show out.
Coach, we know that this Steelers team has one of the best offenses in the NFL, and it all gets going with their quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. How do you kind of try to slow them down?
Well, you said it. I think you got to slow Ben down. You know, I think Ben is a catalyst for everything they do on offense. Obviously, we got to get to him. We got to get him on the ground. We got to try to take the ball away from him. You know, and again, our players, we got to play within our scheme and do what we're coached to do, play in and play out to make sure that we're playing real solid defense. If we're going to be who we want to be, these are the teams you got to line up and play and beat.
They often say you play how you practice. So how has this week of practice been?
It's been good. You know, obviously, I think trimming the roster down. I think everybody went through that process the first time. We went from 90-man roster down to 53. So that's been different because everybody's trying to find their roles and how this all works because we got some young guys still too. But I think we've gotten into the swing of it. I think everybody's starting to understand the routine. But I think practice has really been good getting ready for the opener.
Coach, I know how much this means to you and the team, the city, everybody. And I just want to say good luck and excited to see the new look Browns on Sunday.
Thank you very much.
This new team made by John Dorsey, the new coaching staff. You got Todd Haley as your coordinator, a former Steeler. I think the Browns get it done and start the season on the right foot for the first time in a long time, and that would be something for all of us to celebrate. For the latest on your Browns, keep it tuned to clevelandbrowns.com, the Browns mobile app, and the Browns YouTube channel. For the latest on Bernie, check out Kosar19.com. And we want to thank all of you for tuning into the debut episode of Browns All Access with Hue Jackson. We'll be here all season long, bringing you the latest from Berea. Thanks again, and let's go Browns.